All right, here we are with Godbound, the Storms of Yizhao, Episode 2. I am Devin, the Game Master, and to my left, we have X playing Y.
Nicole playing Lao Ling.
Kevin playing Grant.
And Peter as Azazel the Goat-Headed.
All right, gang, here we are, Session 2 of the Godbound module, the Storms of Yizhao. So, who wants to recap things that happened last session that the listeners probably remember?
We met with Wu Yang, and the Censor, and Noyan Tomor, and Mother Fu Han. It was all lovely.
We met with a bunch of people. We mind controlled the merchant horrible lady to give us what we want. And we also did the thing the censor wanted, but then didn't give him the thing.
You stole documents from the archives and kept the documents.
Yes.
Because we thought it would help us without actually having to answer to him.
Yep.
And you found that it was helpless.
Yeah. But now he can't send someone else to steal it, so.
And we didn't expose Governor Wu Yang. Because we like him. He's such a nice fellow.
Holding our cards close to our chest, basically.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like you have a meeting the next day with beautiful Sage Faye, the foremost expert on the path, the religious thing that drives this nation of Dulumbai.
Yep.
All right, so presuming you shack up somewhere, a night will pass, and it'll be the next morning, and you have a meeting at a tea house in the tea house district, which had a name, where you will hang out with beautiful Sage Faye.
Mm-hmm.
Do we already have the storm or not? Or was it
No, it's on.
today?
You got like 5 days.
Ah, okay.
You got time, brah.
Brah.
Brah. Okay. And... Alright, as you're walking through the streets, the street itself is blocked off briefly by a parade. A large amount of escorts in armor and wearing nice, soft purple and blue colors that are, showing off how rich they are, get fucked, are carrying a palanquin that has been covered, that has servants on it, and they are just kind of going down the streets. And some of the servants are throwing little coins out at the beggars that are like in the mud and stuff begging. One of them throws some at your face.
I see.
Too bad no one has wealth. Some wealth smite on them.
Just throw bed pennies in there so that they get infected.
What, fucking hexers show up and hooligans?
Just use artifacts,
Yep.
transmute the air over them into solid gold, smack.
I really vaguely want to do Godbound again.
Whatever for?
Grant will kind of just nudge one of the nearby peasants. He's like, so, who's that?
The man that you nudged, taller, slender man with a mustache. He has red hair and like red beard. He has a cloth and he's kind of coughing a bit of blood into it, as people are wont to do. Oh, he's Raktian. He's not from here.
Raktian.
Yeah, those they're noblemen. The woman's going to some shrine.
A shrine?
Yeah, it's like a shrine they go to for like good luck for like their marriage and stuff.
Oh, a royal marriage of sorts, I guess.
Something like that. I can't ever tell. There's so many shrines here. But she's the daughter of a magistrate or an assistant magistrate here in the city. So it's like a shrine to go for like, good childbirth, basically.
Huh.
Children. They're big on children here. To make the marriage work. Oh, Christ.
Grant just kind of passes over the coins that were thrown in his face over to this guy. He's like, here.
Ah, yeah, thank you. Hey, have you, you haven't seen any other Raktians around here, have you? I'm looking for a fellow. He's, short, kind of lanky, though. Looks like he's just growing. Like he's just kind of popping into being a man. I'm just looking around for him. Heard tell there's someone, like that around here.
Have we seen anyone like that?
You haven't seen there's a lot of kind of folk here, but you haven't seen anyone by that description.
Yeah.
Does it mean Raktian as in the white? Point to the Grant. Small, white person.
He's not lanky though. He's stout. He's a dwarf.
Yeah, Grant is as wide as he isn't tall.
Yeah, no, can't say we've seen anyone like that.
That's a shame. All right. You're all a bunch of odd folk, aren't you?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could say the same. Raktian person in Yizhao.
I'm looking for someone. He has something of mine. I'm trying to get it back.
And what's that?
It's private. Oh, God almighty. This filthy fucking air. How do these people live like this? And he looks over at some people clearly dying in the street. All right.
Does he seem to be dying from anything? Using my endurance word, I guess?
Oh, yeah, something's killing him.
Grant's just gonna kind of reach over and pat the guy on his arm, because I can't reach his shoulder, and I'm gonna use the gift of endurance.
Oh, cool. You seal off his stomach cancer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which it says he has. The stomachest of cancers running through him.
No.
So yeah, he'll just subtly fix that. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out. Maybe if we see you around, we'll let you know.
Well, thank you. And he takes the money, he pockets that, because you gave him cash. Boy or Raditz?
Grant, pleasure.
Grant, that's... Where the hell are you from? You look like a cousin.
Oh, what?
Hill folk. They live up in this place called... They're from Encalia.
Oh shit, that place, which he'd have heard of at least.
Everyone's heard of Encalia.
Yeah, no, I'm from around a place called Martira Bay. Ain't in Ancalia though.
All right. Okay, neat. And you two?
Sorry, what?
He's asking who the fuck you are because you were nice to him.
Oh, my name's Lao. Lao Ling.
I'll say so. For the 1,000 gods.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me. I was going to say the Black Reaches, but that makes a lot more sense.
What are the Black Reaches famous for?
Power Rangers monsters?
Yep.
Currently at war with.
I have a question, Devin.
What?
Is his name Boiler Raditz?
Boyar Raditz. Like
Yeah.
B-O-A-R. He's a boyar. It's a nobleman title. He's a nobleman.
B-O.
A-R. He's a nobleman.
Boiler Raditz.
R-A-D-E-T-Z.
So what's his power level? What one of this?
His power level? Oh my god. He's about one Cyberman.
One Raditz.
He even has like red hair and stuff, like a vegetable.
Oh, also I've tucked away one effort for my artifact, so.
Good to know. Yeah, if you want to, I don't know, do you want to mind probe him to find out what his story is?
Kinda, yeah.
You're interested.
I'm kind of suspicious of him, actually. So, yeah.
You can use like psychic magic on him?
Yeah.
Alright, he has no way to resist, so... Okay, he's looking for that guy that he just described, whose name is Piotr.
Wait, so...
P-Y-O-T-R.
Okay.
Yeah, he spells his name in the same way that Peter spells his name, a way that no one from our part of the world would spell it.
He said P-Y?
P-Y-O-T-R.
What's the Ragtime Confederacy again? I thought it was.
It's just a place.
It's
Don't you know?
the place where your Sorcerer Queen came from last time.
Well, the Rakhtans have all those kaiju unleashed. The Black Reaches are like, not much going on. There's like some stuff.
I think
Basically,
Dylan Boy's at war with the Racktime Confederacy or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
They're the guys that are next door to Yizhao who were like, go away now, and this guy's just here, so...
I mean, not all the citizens are illegal, just, the monster people. He's not a monster people, he's just ginger.
I mean...
He's not transgressing, he's just trans-ginger.
Jesus, Devin.
Don't worry, we can fix them. The altar.
Continue. You were saying something about that guy.
The guy he's looking for is his old his old servant, who ran away, and his name is Piotr, and it's his illegitimate son. That's something of his that he has. His genes. His gene grays.
He used to take it back.
That's his story that you've ripped from his mind without roleplay.
Handy.
Yeah, actually.
He came to look for his son because he's dying of cancer, so he wanted to reconnect with him and like help him and like bring him into the family and stuff.
Hey, pray for me.
And now he's gonna find out he doesn't have cancer anymore.
Get back in the slave shop.
What a touching story.
Has psychic powers.
I mean, I can make him forget about his son if I want.
You're a monster.
There's no reason for me to do that. I'm not
You're the
gonna-
devastator.
It's fertility. He's no longer your son.
Fucking lord. Anyway, that scene plays out. You talk to Boyor Raditz, and you see the palanquin carrying Ji Qin, daughter-in-law of Assistant Magistrate Gi Bao, to the Shrine of the Blue Goat.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's inconsequential.
Utterly inconsequential.
Yeah. Procession continues. They're still throwing petty cash at people. We're scrambling through the ankle-deep mud and shit, piss and shit to get to it through the streets.
This town is horrible.
Right?
Such a lovely place.
See,
Such a magical evening.
if one of us had Earth, we could just be like, there we go, paved
Cobbled.
streets.
You mean artifacts?
Earth and Artifice. Together, you could be like paved streets, plumbing everywhere, baths.
Sanitation.
My work here is done.
I only come here to give people sanitation. Like, why is that? So that in like 4 or 5 generations, the quality of people that I can hit on will be more attractive.
I'll introduce perfume.
And dentists.
Guys, there's poop on the street. Let's do something about the poop on the street.
It's like, what's this building? This building has hair care products and skin care products. They were produced from plants.
God, if I played my Bright Republic character, I wouldn't sell energy drinks. I'd sell hygiene products.
Soap.
Yes.
The most condescending thing possible to sell to a
Right.
different culture.
Have some medicine. Have some comic books.
Have
Andy.
some blankets.
Kevin, no! History repeating. So yes, you guys continue to the district where the tea shop is to talk to beautiful sage Faye. Change up the music. And we're back. So, you guys head to the tea house. It is called the Swan. And there aren't customers in. There's the person who takes care of the place. They kind of cleared it out for the day. There is a young woman who is looking like a beautiful young woman by most standards. And an older woman who is her chaperone. They are dressed out in the default clothing for this area, except they are rich people, so it's rich people default clothing.
Let's muddle it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they're sitting at the tea table, and they have seats for you, and they just for you to sit down, and the waiter person is going to go through tea ceremony, which isn't going to be like a Japanese tea ceremony where 800 years goes by. It's more like a nice, brief pouring of tea.
I guess we go in.
Yes.
Yes, we are sat down, do the ceremony, and then we just stare.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful sage.
I hear you are the divinities that have come upon our city and have set up in our land.
That'd be us.
You were... Wait, did she reach out to you or did you reach out to her?
I think
We reached out to her.
It was actually both. I think
Yeah.
it was like we were wanting to meet her. Oh no, that was the other lady. Never mind. Yeah, we reached out to her.
Okay.
The other lady, we were going to reach out to her, and then her servant showed up.
That's
That was
perfect.
the other lady. That was not her.
In what way could I assist you with your dealings with the local government here?
We're hoping someone as well versed in the pattern might have some insight into what's making the shrine act up.
The Altar of Heaven.
Yes.
It is a very old and very sacrosanct artifact. It helps guide people here in Yichao's lives in a more constructive way in dealing with the pattern we follow set down by the True King, the progenitor of our culture. The Patriarch.
What's the pattern?
The pattern is... And I'm back. The pattern is the way life repeats itself and works in a very literal pattern to have the most spiritually pure existence. It is a series of poems or rhymes that continue through everyone's lives. It is the concept of Li. Would you like a brief introduction to it?
It might be helpful for our foreign compatriots here.
Of course. So the first rule is that filial piety is the soul of virtue. That is to say, you are the child and you love your parents, and that love is the first love that exists. It provides the strongest bond that you know in life. So, to love your family is the very groundwork that everything is built upon. If you're unable to do that, then there is very little hope for you to live a life of objective correctness. Do you love your family?
Of course.
Yes.
They sold me to slavery.
I'm sure one day you'll be able to... I'm certain one day you will be able to get their forgiveness and right that wrong.
Oh yes, I'm sure I'll be able to get a forgiveness.
Of course you will.
Like, not your forgiveness for getting sold into slavery, but their forgiveness for not loving them, because you're supposed to love your family. And it's like, oh my god.
My character when he was a mother was called the scapegoat, for some literal reasons.
I'm sure that's very interesting in your culture. What a diverse background you have. The second step afterwards is to honor the 5 relationships. These are fundamental across everyone's lives. Parent and child, ruler and minister, the elder sibling and the younger sibling, husband and wife, senior friend and junior friend. These are replicated throughout everyone's lives. They're universal. And it sets up the very basic tenet of the greater, the lesser reveres the greater, and the greater nourishes the lesser. Your betters take care of you, and in exchange, you serve your betters. It is a perfect balance, where everyone is taken care of properly, and everyone is respected properly.
Nod.
After that, one must serve their ancestors rightly. They're your parents, and your parents' parents, and all that came before you. They are your elder, or all that came after you.
Sorry, I wasn't looking at you funny because of the way you're saying. I was looking at you funny because your thumb was freaking me out because it was bent too far backwards.
Perfect. That didn't derail it anyway. So, it's every family's responsibility to produce sons so that the rites of ancestor worship can continue and the family line can be maintained at all costs. If your family line is not contained properly, then ancestor priests must be brought in to sacrifice and worship, which will eventually lead someone to spiral into hell if they are forgotten, which is a original sin that has no real comparison.
To allow someone to fall into hell?
Due to non-worship, to abandon your family in such a way. By not producing heirs. After that, serve your relationships dutifully. You have relationships that exist, and you must nourish your elders, or you must honor your elders and nourish your juniors. You have to take care of the relationships that exist in your life. It's your responsibility. Then act as the ancestors acted. The true king had perfect wisdom and setup for how the world operates, and you must follow his example in all things and never gainsay them, for he was perfectly wise and accounted for literally everything in the pattern. So to go out against the pattern is to try and subvert his wisdom, and the ignorance of that is astounding. It can only lead you to failure. And of course, maintain what you've received. Don't try to move up, don't try to move down. Stay within your lane. The ruler rules by example, so you live a life according to the pattern, and by living a life in accordance to the pattern, those under you that you nourish will also live a life in accordance to the pattern. And if the person above you is following the pattern correctly, they will be an example you can look to when you're trying to find your life, and you'll be an example for them to look to. Everyone's staying in their step upon the ladder moving upwards, takes care of everyone below them, and can look upwards for the better example. And the last one, that's this one. Like they go from order of importance down. The last one is seek learning so that you may be perfected. So ignorance is a sort of wickedness. You must always look to enrich your knowledge and enrich yourselves so that you can be a better example to those below you and so that you can be a better servant to your betters. And of course to think of the pattern, understand how these relationships connect and work.
And these are the laws that govern the altar of heaven?
I mean, they're the laws that govern all aspects of life. But the altar is very much built by the true king, and it is a much more succinct interpreter of these orders.
An extension of his will.
Yes, an extension of his will, nourishing us while we serve him.
Well, you're an expert on such things. What could be so grievous that it would cause these storms to pick up?
For the city to be afflicted by this, I have meditated on for quite a while. It must have something to do with the largers of the city, the betters. Someone in a position of power is acting so far outside the pattern that the true king and heaven have decided that this city must be scourged of all life. And because we must obviously be being improper servants, we have not rooted out this broken step to neutralize it and bring it back into the fold.
You think it's a failure of everyone that this hasn't been discovered?
For this to be so egregious, it would have to be such a large conspiracy that there would have to be near 100 people involved. And for that to be not found after a year of research by even the most competent people in power here, then of course it must be our fault.
One person can keep a secret, maybe even two, but when it gets more than that, it becomes almost impossible.
There was some barbarian scripture I read once from one of the more unenlightened countries that said, 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. I don't know how relevant it is in our lives, but it does ring true to the scope of this heresy.
People have been disappearing from the city, dying in these storms. It could be very easy that anyone who comes close to revealing it could be being dealt with.
Fair.
I have mused on the subject and believe I have come up with a solution that would resolve this in a way that would be most appropriate to the city and fix the various amounts of corruption that have been whispered about by some of the more loose-lipped Shielren.
Well, much of what you said is correct already, so do tell.
The altar of heaven, which is tended by the regent's blood, it is a singular device of the true king, though it being put in and taken out of storage when it was ceremonially retired may have interrupted the flow. They were never designed to be stopped, so the indiscretion of it being retired when it was originally put into play might have interrupted its workings. It's not working as efficiently as records have said. It might need help, and I found help. Through my writings and letters with other sages on the subject of the pattern and Lee throughout all of Dillenbai, one reached out to me and sent me a package that has a celestial chart of heaven, meant to realign and re-guide the altar back to the true king's original intensity. If such a thing were to be applied, it would resolve our issue almost immediately.
You think it would immediately root out those responsible?
Guaranteed.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yes. The altar itself is equipped to resolve this problem. It simply has issues with its operation due to the way that it was brought back to function.
You don't think it would amp up the storms? I mean, its current intent seems to be to destroy the city.
That's not what my studies have brought to light.
Really?
It would restore the function of the altar to correct the actions of the citizens.
Do
how
tell.
it corrected if it's already happened.
Oh, the citizens in question that are working against the pattern would be rehabilitated by the altar and would be once again loyal subjects of the true king, and they would come forward with their crimes and confess.
The upright. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, they would become upright and be happy again.
But what about the higher-ups? I mean, the failure of the Shoren is that they have not rooted this out.
And with such a vast amount of people involved in the conspiracy, the Shioren that are involved would come to their senses, have their conscience restored, follow the pattern, and confess to who's involved in conspiracy, bring it to light, to the censor from the regent no less, and the issue would be quickly dealt with within the month.
Huh.
Perhaps within a week even, depending on the speed of horses and weather permitting.
Can you show the chart?
Oh yes, of course. She has a little case, and it's a nice little scroll that, if you look at it, it gives you a headache because it's endless amounts of swirling circles in Japanese Chinese style script, bending in on itself and flowing on the paper when you look at it, like in Skyrim when you look at the Elder Scrolls.
Cool.
And it hurts to look at, and you will instantly know this is a celestial shard of heaven.
Where did you find this?
Oh, one of my scholarly associates that I communicate with through letter writing reached out to me when I told them about our plight.
Huh.
He found this in an old archive in one of the other cities and sent it. It's made for the altars. It was actually penned by the true king himself. In the event that any of the altars were damaged and him or his perfect sages were not able to attend its function to be uplifted.
I see.
Placing this upon the altar would be as if the true king himself had re-blessed it.
Now, Devin,
Yeah?
we know it's a celestial shard by, automatic.
Yeah, you just know instinctually.
Do we know for sure, if it's touched to the altar, it will automatically do the things she wants, or is that something it can do?
That is what she's saying. There's no way to discern what...
Okay, I just want to know whether we knew if that was true or not.
Probably, if as he would examine it with his artifice, he might be able to...
Yeah, that's exactly what it'll do.
Yeah.
It'll fix the shrine. The shrine will go right back to 100%.
Yep.
Okay, so we don't want anything near there.
And it's not even placing on the altar. If you touch it to the altar, just a bit, it'll do it. It even slightly pulls towards it if you get way too close.
Perfect.
There's a problem, though.
Hmm?
The regent's younger brother. He is the one that is caretaking the shrine, and of course, him being of regent blood, I would never wish to gainsay his wishes. But he does not see my interpretation of the pattern as I do, and has rebuked my suggestions to resolve the issue in Yizhao. The wisdom behind this, I of course could not dwell on, as it is not my place. I'm a woman, and I'm not a Yunzai, and I'm not part of the regent's inner circle, so it is not my place to make these sorts of counterpoints. But he seems very against this course of action to restore the altar to the true king's original intent. If foreign divinities were to convince him of the wisdom of this and apply the fix, he would probably see it through a better light.
Did he deign to give a reason as to why he wouldn't allow this?
I cannot speculate on his reasoning, though I can imagine why he would be hesitant to accept my input. Though I am a very modest scholar of the pattern, I, again, am a woman, I do not have any official rank, it would be improprietous of me to try to force my outlook on him. And it's very much the case that he might also see it that way. My words simply do not have the same amount of pull. but foreign divinities of power and influence and social standing. She points over to, what's your character's name? Lao. You might be able to talk to him man to man, so to speak, and the idea might come across more palatable. She's implying that he said no because she's a woman.
She's not implying it, she said it.
I mean, she said it, but she used a lot of words in between.
Well, if you would allow us to take hold of the star chart, we will definitely weigh that as a possible option. There must be others besides the prince that would look down upon this idea.
I could not imagine who. The upright are perfect citizens. They, if I were to put garish numbers to it, the amount of work they do is 170% harder than any other Shioren in the city. They never rest. They don't get sick, or if they do get sick, they take proper precautions to get better afterwards. They're happy, they don't idle, they don't slow, and they just love serving the pattern and serving the True King and the Regent. They're ideal citizens, and they feel good about it. They're happy. I've spent hours with them, and they are just the most pleasant people you could ever meet in your life. They're truly at peace.
Curious as to why the prince would think that is a negative then.
Well, he is the prince. He is the regent's younger brother, of course. So he is not regent himself. Perhaps there are parts of the pattern he might be still discerning for himself in his role.
Yeah, we should speak to him.
Definitely.
Get his view of things.
Yeah, I think we were planning to talk with him next.
I had heard.
Well, I guess we can take this star chart and bring it to him and see what he says. And he'll just reach us over and
Yeah, she's just going to let you have it.
have a closer look at this.
Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. I hope you will see things as I have, and we might put an end to this swiftly before anyone else is hurt.
This does seem to be the most immediate option.
Yeah.
What is the limits of the altar? Range-wise.
As far as you can see, each fortress city Yizhao.
Oh, I knew that was what it is now, but if we restore it to its former strength, is that still the limits of it?
I'm not sure on the repairs. It's working fine in that regard now. The repairs are more to how it roots out corruption and resolves it. That isn't functioning properly. Which is why the storms are getting so intense. It is a stopgap if it can't simply root out the corruption. It is to let people know that heaven is displeased with our fallible mortal ways. It is two parts. It is reward. It is punishment and reward. The altar rewards the citizens by allowing them to become perfect and happy and content, and it punishes the greater, the administrative side of the city for not following the pattern. And perfect citizens will be able to notice that and put them back in their place and correct the flow of transgressions.
That's definitely not how it's looking now, though. It's punishing the Shiren for the Jinzai.
Yeah, though the implications here seem to be that the lesser are also involved in this.
Well,
There's
more
just
than 100
so many
people it
more.
would have to
There are
be.
just so many more Shuren than there are Jinzai. Shuren must be involved.
Servants, go-betweens.
Soldiers.
Like
There are not very many Jinzai in Yizhao, so there must be Shioren involved, and they, by not coming forward, are making it worse for everyone. I dare say one person coming forward to anyone involved in the investigation, to the censor himself, Liang, would resolve this immediately. I hear Liang even has speculations on how this could be, on who could be behind it. I just hope that whoever is able to help him, it could. But no one's come forward.
It confused me for a second because I thought she was saying my character's name, and I was
No!
like, "What?
Bitch.
What?"
Now the other guy.
Fatty McGee.
I forgot he was that.
Kermit the Frog here.
I think that's all we need from her, though, so...
Very well. It sounds like our next stop should be speaking with the prince.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, beautiful sage. After I said it, though?
But of course, I'm so glad you came to meet with me on this. I also... No, I would just hope that you would follow through on this after you meet the prince. Perhaps you could come meet with me again afterwards.
Seems like something we could do, yes. Would
That's
we
perfect.
require another appointment?
Just send out let us know, and it'll take another day to clear out the tea house.
Fair enough.
And you guys leave.
Yes.
What are you thinking? Gonna solve this problem in one fucking minute?
Grant has never seen an upright. He just knows what he's heard. So from what he knows now, it's like, yeah, this sounds like an okay idea.
Yeah, we don't know quite how brainwashy it is, or the fact that it, churns people Chinese. Like, we don't know about that part, really. We just know that they're good citizens.
Also the fact that it would immediately solve this and prevent more deaths. It's like, yeah.
Right?
Then we go there, we're like, oh, it's like super bad mind control.
We'll find out about this in a second. Next quest.
Alright, so you guys are heading to go meet with the prince,
Mhm.
which means they are going to have to get you a covered carriage to take you through the upright district.
Oh no.
Little palanquin. It's the mulberry district where the altar of heaven is kept. The upright like to be around it, they say.
So why do we need a covered carriage?
Oh, to keep... this is the guards. To keep the upright from seeing you.
Why can't they see us?
Because you're foreigners.
I literally, as he was like, you're like, why can't they see us? I was literally like gesturing at both of you guys, and then he said that, and I'm always like,
They have a problem with foreigners?
I mean, you're pretty unclean. And they have a problem with that.
Do go on.
You look like freaks and mutants and ugly people, and they have a problem with it. Why can't you look... If you look more like Lao here, it'd be fine. The back of my hand.
my character looks kind of smug at that, actually.
Cocaine.
You're not the killer queen.
I've never done this drug before.
I take some mud, pat it down so it's like a mask of Link, put it on my goat face.
You're wearing his
You-
mud skin.
Give
Don't
you
touch
that.
me.
Man. I am Link.
So they don't like it. What do you mean? Like, did they get lynchy? Is that what we're talking about here?
I mean, okay, they don't get lynchy. We haven't had a full-on lynching yet, but it's just they're very proper about how things should work. And if a bunch of weird foreigners, you don't know how things work, you don't know how to talk to people, how many steps to walk behind someone, all these little tiny rules. So if you got out of line, they would have to ask like a guard or someone to like cane you for it. And if I didn't cane you right, then they'd get my boss on my case over it. And if my boss ignored it, they'd get really mad about it. They really like when the law is followed.
All right, covered carriage it is.
Izil drops a paper mache head of Link he was about to put on his head.
I mean, if you want to be my mascot.
It's a giant paper mache bobblehead of Ling. Like the fucking Beth in the Jerry daycare.
Yes.
I mean, you have to come with my giant horns.
First one in gets to change the tracking settings on the VCR.
Jesus.
Okay, so they put you in a covered carriage. Some people get, like, it's not a carriage, it's like one of those little palanquins. And like a bunch of Shioran servants who are like, dressed proper, pick it up and start to carry you through they open up the big wooden barred gates of the Mulberry District. Okay, so your palanquin begins to take you through the Mulberry District. District of the city looks a little bit nicer, well taken care of, and just eyeballing from kind of the metrics you've been given, there's about 5,000 people that live inside the city. And it's been quarantined. You can't enter without express permission from the governor. So yeah, the people are carrying on palanquins, and yeah, outside the window of your little palanquin or whatever, you can just see people. Nice Colombian people going about their business, spinning thread, cleaning houses, making like textile stuff, worshiping at little shrines. It's all very nice and orderly.
I'm gonna play a traditional Olympian song.
Oh yeah, there's some people who come by and clap, when the palanquin's going by, because it's from, some of the Zhenzai, they, all bow respectfully in a perfect ordered line. Everything is very mechanical.
Huh, this is really, idyllic.
Yes, it really is.
Like your illustration in the books.
Hmm?
Like the illustration in the books.
Yes.
Now I'm kind of curious how they'd react if they actually did see us.
Wanna check?
No.
Not really.
I mean,
A race group.
I would most likely be fine, but I leave that sentence unfinished.
The implication is enough.
And yeah, you are brought nearby to the Prince's Palace, where the shrine is nearby. The shrine has its own kind of campus grounds. And you are brought inside, past the upright. We're back. Your palanquins are brought into the palace, you are disembarked, and you are in the prince's little personal estate. It is lavish, a little smaller than you may expect from a palace, but still magnitudes larger than what most people here are living in. A sweet, salty smell is in the air when you come in, and the sound of frying and hissing. And Prince, the prince, pops on in. He comes in from a side room with his servants and stuff. He's a young man, kind of aimless teenager looking in royal robes that aren't quite as well kept as you'd expect from royalty. There's a slight kind of wet stain around his cuffs. A very slight kind of it's grease. Fucking get the look off your face. You're eating popcorn.
Gross.
My god, it shows up on everyone's clothes.
It's greasy.
Nobody around here is clean.
Anyway, and he comes on into the reception room you're in. Hey, hi! You're the heretic gods, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Come on, we got stuff set up. So Zazel, the half man, and
I'm Lowling.
Lowling. Perfect. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's just. We'll talk later. We got this whole thing set up.
Let's go.
So you're the prince?
Yeah, I'm the prince.
Okay.
He brings you to a side room that has a nice oak counter that has it's lined with confections from different parts of Ancalia or Arsum. Specifically Bright Republic confections like chips and sugar bars and Turkish Delight. And there's a little barrel full of salted peanuts, and there is a small basket full of pre-packaged brown bags. He's like, yeah, grab one.
Huh. Alright. Grabs one of the bags and just kind of grabs a few of each little confection. It's like, oh, huh.
There's trays for you.
Perfect.
Takes it back, eats it whole.
No bad god.
I am also taking from you.
Yeah. Yeah, how was your trip here through the Mulberry District? The Upright didn't get in your way, did they?
No, it was very peaceful.
Oh, that's small miracles. Small miracles. Yay.
Yeah, we were told we had to cover up for it, cover our shame.
Yeah, they're very rioty. You don't want to get on the wrong side of them.
Huh.
Yeah, it's the worst. So he brings you into a large room that has about a dozen, maybe 24 chairs and rows in it, but they're big, comfy chairs that have a little area for you to put your tray. And there's a big, giant, blank tapestry screen and a buzzing and humming sound in the background as light projects. It's a projector. It's a movie theater. I'm not going to describe the movie theater in a way that would be strange and new to your fucking people. It's a movie theater. Put it in your head. Interpret it as your characters would see it.
Projectors would exist. Fucking that slightly more techy place in Ravenloft that I went to.
Oh, they're not there yet.
Huh.
Not quite.
Still light passing through a thing to.
And then the fucking movie starts with sound.
Oh.
Oh,
Woo! It's new from the Bright Republic.
interesting.
This is just the warm-up tape they put on.
What is it?
It's basically like just a color test. Like it's a character in different colored robes walking through different parts of the screen on like a bunch of stairs, and like different hues and stuff change, and like the focus changes. There's like little targets for like the guy to like adjust on.
So what are we? He's kind of waving his hand in front of the.
And there's something they do in the Republic. It's great. It's called Movie Night. I have 3 things lined up for you. We have The Revenge of the Dragon's Soul, starring Kato Bloodlust. He's playing the Revengeancer. He's the character in the series. Then we have The Woman on the Blue Moon, which is about a woman who is a wolf monster who fights Kato Bloodlust, the person. He's playing himself in this movie on the moon. And then for the final one, we have a classic one, Jane and Joe. It's one actor playing himself and his twin sister, and it's a story about how their lives are meaningless, but it's also a comedy. It's an existential dread movie.
So it's like storytelling. Okay. Huh.
Classical theater, but interesting.
7.5 hours will pass. These movies are, by our standards, atrocious, but in a Battlefield Earth kind of way.
Grant thinks these are fan-fucking-tastic.
Every single one of them, even the Jack and Jill Adam Sandler ripoff, have martial arts fighting in them. Like, on top of a church tower, raining with lightning in the background, and there were, like, vampire bats in almost every single one of them. People being punched into Gothic architecture and being crucified on, like, stakes and stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah, refreshments. There's, like, intermissions in between each one. You guys get back with refreshments, shoot the shit about the movie, and then that's done. Oh man, that was a great ending. I hadn't seen that one yet.
That was amazing.
Kato Bloodlust, man. He knocks it out of the park every time. He does all of his own stunts.
And it's a machine that tells stories. Like, it just projects stories onto the screen.
Yeah, well, they do it in real life, and then the machine copies it.
They do it in real life, but how could they do that? He died in the second movie.
Oh, they had like a stunt double to die.
And they killed the stunt double.
I think, yeah.
I thought he said he did his own stunts.
Well, he couldn't do the dying part.
That is true.
The cyber he has in the third one, though, that's actually Bright Republic cyber tech. Apparently, he was in the war in between those 2 movies filming, and they had to replace a lot of his body with machinery.
Well then.
Yeah.
Strange place.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you don't see many of those around.
I've never seen anything like that, but I want to see more.
Every part of the Bright Republic's like that. They just basically record everyday stuff happening in the city and turn it into like big stylized plays and teledramas.
Sounds like a dangerous life.
Yeah, it's great. But they have like proto-divinities there and like weird things kind of like you guys that like dress up in like masquerades and solve problems.
Like vigilantes.
Yeah! Like criminals. The translation of the word doesn't come across quite right in Dulumbian. It's so great.
Huh.
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for Blue Moon to come out on what they call as a laser disc. I have a player for it, and apparently it's much higher quality, and they add in half an hour of extra scenes in between. They got cut from the one that they showed in the theater.
So they can pick and choose what they show. It's not just one.
Yeah, it's like a book. Like you cut stuff from the book when you're publishing it that, you know, interrupts the flow. You know, to keep prices down on printing the books.
Huh. It just kind of nods off and stares off. It's like, wow. Oh, but anyway,
You're the
What
gods that the governor brought in to solve his problem with the altar.
Yeah.
His problem.
Yep, it's his problem.
What do you mean by that?
Because there's an easy solution that he won't take.
Which is?
Break the altar.
What keeps Yizhao safe?
Fuck it. It's not worth it.
You're right next to the border. If those things pour over,
It's not worth it.
explain.
Alright, well, one, we have thousands of soldiers here, and the governor is bleeding the people dry to get more money flowing into the army and to garrison this place and to pay those Tobin archers, the barbarian horseback people I'm sure you've met.
Which is taxing the people dry.
Okay, so Yizhao is defended, and it's a fortress city. Hell, the city itself hasn't been invaded in forever. It's the borderlands that have problems. Which, I understand that, but the altar isn't worth the trouble keeping it around. Case one, the storms. Apparently there's a conspiracy of like 100 people causing this problem, and no one's caught it in a year. So how useful is that fucking altar? Not very, right? And two, it turns people into upright, which is horrifying.
I thought it made them happy and like good citizens.
You've been talking to beautiful Sage Faye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did she give you a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to sell that thing project to me. Upright are horrible. Take a person and then take a screwdriver to their brain until all that's left is a happy person that does whatever you tell them to do. That doesn't have any hobbies or personal wants or happiness that is outside of being a servant.
Cool, I can do that.
A lobotomy.
I don't know that word.
It's basically what you described. It's a medical treatment.
It's horrible. Yeah, okay, like exactly like that, if you know the term for it. That's what it does. And it does it to people who aren't Delumbian. Like foreigners that come and live here, they'll just turn into an upright and look exactly like every other upright.
Wait, what? That's...
It turns them into one of us.
Yeah, it fixes them. These altars were everywhere when the invasion originally happened under the True King, and that's how they mass converted the Kamite Ideo tribes. They set up these altars and just flipped them over into good loyal servants.
Wow. I mean, it's efficient.
It was very efficient. We're pretty lucky the altar isn't working very well. It's been in storage too long.
And it would only affect the peasantry.
Yeah, no one who's, in power, benefiting from the corruption that, sustains the people in power,
But you're
like the
not
governor.
born Jinzhao, so you would be converted.
The altar doesn't work like that. The altar converts people who don't know the pattern and are ignorant and are not fitting the role that the government has given them to live their entire lives. The more enlightened you are, the less chance the pattern can affect you. Like, beautiful Sage Faye. She'll never be hit by it. She's way too enlightened about the pattern. She knows way too much. She's philosophical. Me, I'm not part of the Shioren caste, and you are all magic.
Interesting.
Any of our followers in the city.
Yes.
They follow your own religion, I think, so they'd probably be fine.
True.
But then how does it get foreigners? Because they also follow different religions.
They have to live here long enough.
You mentioned they get rioty.
Okay. Do any of you people come from barbarian countries with laws?
For your definition of barbarian, yeah.
What would a citizen look like if they followed every single law to the letter absolutely? And then it was only them that did that, and they were around people who didn't.
Hail, gaunt, report anything you see to the guards. So, yeah.
They get really mad when the law is broken and no one does anything about it. Really mad.
Violent.
Yeah, violent. They either someone buckles to their demands and punishes people and makes the law work as intended by the letter of the law, or they try to murder the person who broke the law in a large lynch mob.
She said they didn't get lynchy.
The Mulberry District wouldn't be able to hold it if everyone who didn't precisely follow the pattern got turned.
We quarantine them in here because they like to be around the altar. There's so many of them.
Which means they would just be turning outside of here.
with other people who don't follow the pattern.
If you fix that altar, it would be a nightmare. It would be like a third of the city overnight flipped, and then and they would all know. They would all have their memories, and they would know about how corrupt most people are in their day-to-day lives, and it would be a bloodbath.
They take it into their own hands.
We would have to quarantine ourselves in the Mulberry District away from them.
All right, this is sounding
But,
less
you know,
ideal.
the regent would be super happy with how efficient the people would be. Can't gainsay the true king.
Oh, the regent. Oh,
Well-
true.
What would destroying it do to the upright?
Wouldn't make any more.
Wouldn't make any more. Would
They
it
would
harm
still-
them?
No, they just exist and be mad.
They would still be upright though.
Yeah, you can't fix that now.
Hmm.
Now they've been turned into Shioren and upright. You can't undo that.
I mean, we could probably fix them.
If you want to give it a try, sure. But it would stop the storms from ravaging Yizhao, and it would stop the Shioren from being turned into upright.
I've got a decent garrison out west. If I could bring some of them here, I could help back the soldiers up, provided the defenses are down.
The only issue is if we destroy it, I'm assuming the governor will lose his job at best, head at worst.
And we lose the guarantee that we'll be legitimized as cults, which means war on us, which means I can't bring my men anywhere. I'd have to leave.
Precisely.
I mean, what's so great about living in Dullenby?
I like this place. They've taken me in. I want to protect them.
It's my homeland. I want to see it do better.
I mean, that's great, but
Don't you care about your country? You were born here. You're a prince. You're supposed to care about the...
I was born here and I'm a prince, and I would really like to be somewhere else. It doesn't get better the higher up you go.
There's got to be another option we're not thinking of. A way to fix it so that it's less...
Find who's doing the thing and bring them to justice. But it's impossible for there to be a guy doing the thing. This is way too widespread.
Would you know anything about what could possibly cause it like this? You say it's impossible, but like...
I've been looking at the diagnostic logs that the altar puts out. It's a piece of machinery. And it's saying that it has something to do with betrayal and brutal carnal lust. But
That's
one
a
goat-headed
very large scale.
Yeah, it would have to be because, you know, even his boat, his orgy boat that came in here, he's pointing to his Azel, that's not triggering the altar.
We're also not
foreigners.
Shinzai anyway,
Yeah.
so...
It's not like we're luring in married men and women to give into carnal lust.
I mean, I did move a whole family there.
I mean, we could.
Yeah, but at that point, it's never...
Look, you... Okay. Destroying the altar would obviously get the governor executed, and as much as he's a real pain in my ass, it would be wrong to have him killed over convenience. But if you could, I don't know, retire the altar ceremoniously and put in a replacement system of defense in...
Break it down for its parts.
No, we could just retire it and put it into storage and worship it as a shrine like we used to. Not have to break an artifact of the True King. And in exchange, I don't know, if you guys want to set up something here, your gods, right?
Yeah, of course. And we can set things up to protect this place.
You just have to convince the governor, the sage... And that won't solve really any problem because the censor's here and he's looking for someone to blame. Someone has to be blamed for this.
We can find a decent scapegoat. Or an actual... an actual offender.
But
We
the
still need to oust them out.
The censor, the governor, and the sage need this to be resolved in a real way.
Yes, I wouldn't want to blame it on any kind of scapegoat anyway. I want to know what happened. This is a large-scale horrible
And it's not a
thing that's
mistake.
happening.
I checked. This is not it misinterpreting or this is not it being mistaken about, you know, like cultural drift. Someone's doing something wrong. Someone's being a bad person.
We still have a few leads as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, you should take that document Sage gave you and throw it in the garbage.
It seems to have power of its own.
Well, don't let it anywhere near the altar.
It's a legitimate piece of something. Celestial.
It's an artifact of the True King, so that's fine. Just don't let it anywhere near that altar. That'll be a nightmare. Like, the Upright have kids. The Uprights, we've had Upright for decades. They have kids. At a certain stage, we have to take the kids away from the parents because they get old enough to sin. And the parents get really mad about that.
So the kids aren't born upright.
Well, you're not born Jinzai, you're not born Upright either.
Fair.
It's not how it works.
Because of course they'd kill their own children if they...
Well, they would want them to be brought to justice.
I mean, should they be perfect parents?
They would be, but children are children. They're illogical and faulty. The proper justice for a child, though, is their parents' hand, so...
Changing this artifact so that more people became upright, that wouldn't change the children still. So they'd still be having more kids, and...
that's also something I hadn't considered.
But conversion rate would still be going. It would be a better rate.
I mean, you have whole districts of them that will be easier to raise proper children.
Are you missing the part where they'll riot and lock people in?
Oh, also, children just at a certain age are culpable for their mistakes, and it doesn't matter how well you raise someone, people make mistakes. Well, did Sage Fate give you a breakdown of Lee, like of the pattern?
Yes.
She did.
Yeah, there's hundreds and hundreds of manuscripts detailing each individual line of the True King's pattern, and interpretations on how to use them for every situation. It's literally impossible to live your life like Sage Faye does without breaking at least one part of the pattern in your life. She is an outlier.
She also... I mean, she does break parts of the pattern. It's
She really doesn't. She's pretty good at it. She's an outlier, though. Supernaturally so at this point. She's so enlightened by the pattern that she has taken on a supernatural quality.
Did notice something weird about her.
something mystical for sure.
I mean, that just comes from enlightenment. That's the definition of enlightenment, to go beyond the natural. Sage Faith's plan is a nightmare. And the altar's a nightmare.
Perhaps we can look into a new way to defend the city. And if we come up with something legitimate, we can just present it to the governor.
Which, hey, that would satisfy me and the governor, but the censor needs someone to blame.
We can deal with him. Again, if we oust...
If we can't find the problem, we're going to need to find a way to resolve this without finding it. But definitely going to try to find what the actual problem is. But I don't see how we can convince the governor that it would be a good idea to shut down the altar, especially because he is all about taxing everyone and being really productive for the war, and the Upright are like way more productive than regular people.
Yeah, but they can't work the mines or the production lines. They have to be isolated from other citizens.
I mean,
we have little projects set up for them to do in the Mulberry District, and they do great work. And they're good people, they really are, but we can't let them mingle with normal people. They get whippy.
I mean, if we lock them down in the mines, they'll be happy.
No, I can't imagine. Also, that's just slavery. That is literally just slavery.
I mean, we have slavery.
Yeah, that's... Additionally, that also means that no traders can come into the city. You'd all be quarantined. They'd run the city. And anyone who came in who didn't obey the pattern or looked different would be, Yeah, that's not a solution.
Like, the altar still makes uprights now. It's a very gradual change. Season to season, every people will shift over.
We definitely need to stop that.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's one of the reasons every other city took them down. Yizhao just needs it because of the border.
Proper defenses is definitely something we should look into.
You know who's good at border defense? The Bright Republic. They have old world technology and strategy and implementations that keep their order is safe.
Would the governor and the regent be happy with sacrificing an artifact of the true king and instead implementing a foreign thing to protect the city, though?
The governor's the type of man that wants the military to succeed in the war, the endless war with Patria. He's a die-hard military idealist. So it doesn't really matter if they're using swords or rifles, if you can provide them with it. Plus, we wouldn't sacrifice the altar. We just shut it down. We just shut it off. We just put it in a shrine, in the shrine district, and people can worship it as an altar to the true king. Like every other city.
Yeah. No real need to destroy it.
Well, that then people are going to be executed. Not me.
Why was the governor stationed here instead of closer to the Patrian front line?
He made some mistakes in the war, and he had enough pull to be here instead of a wicker basket.
This place is a punishment.
Truly is, especially for someone who cares so much about the war to be so far from it.
I mean, he's got the other border to defend.
No,
Really?
he taxes people to protect this border and to protect the Patrian front. Yizhao sends extra to that city, or to the south.
We can find a way to repair that as well. Some way to ease the burden on these citizens.
Well, you're gods, right?
Yeah. It's another thing. If we can't solve this, we don't get immunity to the wards. That
Well, the wards are part of the altar.
Yeah.
We retire the wards, you'll be able to influence this place all you want. Especially if you have it in with the governor. Don't tell him you're my friend, though. He would be less likely to help you if he knew that you liked me.
Figured as much.
I did get that distinct impression.
Oh, was it subtle? He says, a little ragged.
Ling is all about subtlety.
One time, he was drinking around a conference table and told everyone there that it was a shame the regent didn't see fit to send a cheaper, more manageable prince. I was right beside him at the table.
Doesn't seem like the kind of thing that is allowed to be said about the regent's family.
He just huffs a little. Last year, my brother sent me by his brother, he says with a capital B as in the regent of all of Donbai, sent me a letter encouraging me to do better at my work and to live a virtuous life, and he misspelled my name.
Siblings.
Yes,
They're the
more
best.
of his sob stories.
So, yeah, you probably don't want to approach this as my idea to him.
Yeah.
The governor has opinions about things.
It's a city of very opinionated people.
So it sounds like the plan is to find out what happened. If we can't, we'll go from there. The plan is to find out what happened, shut down the altar, figure out a way to defend the city, then shut down the altar.
I'd say taking care of those threats around the city. The Horse Lords mentioned. You should
Oh,
check that out.
Yes.
What was his name? Tobin.
Yes.
Tobin.
No, that's
Yes.
the name of his people.
Oh,
Oh, was it?
Tomor.
Tomor.
my girl's like, yes, that's his name. Then I was like, oh,
Good old.
See, Tomor, he reached out to you, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Doing stuff for him might not be the worst idea in the world. Him and the governor are really close, so if you approach it from Tomor, like I don't know, if you try to put forward that you have more of Tomor's people live here on payroll, that might make up for some of the border protection, except for the supernatural parts.
The issue in that case is money, because that's going to cause more taxation, and the people can't afford it.
I just, you have skill sets, right?
Yeah, we do.
He looks pointedly at Azazel from the Thousand Gods, who is like a legacy built around being like a craft god.
Yeah.
I was looking at Grant because he's very martial.
He's a very murdery person.
It's murder people for money.
I could just go to the Blessed Isle.
Don't you have transmutation?
No, I didn't take that one.
Could you miracle it and turn rocks into gold?
I could.
Bars of silver, you piece of shit.
I could just go to the Bright Republic, go to a gun store, and touch every weapon in there, and be like, "Yeah, thanks. I was just browsing. Go back here and just start pulling them all on my
Stealing! You're stealing!
They're like,
Stop right there, criminal scum.
that'd be amazing for the fucking shop. They're like, wait, wasn't there a gun? Wait, where's that? Where are they going? Where are they going?
Gun stuff.
They were into the warehouse. Like,
Wait.
no.
Wait, I know you. You've committed crimes against Skyrim and her people.
Stop, vile scum.
So yeah, we have options.
Yeah, I have a way to get rid of the altar if worst comes to worst. But I don't have a way to implement it.
Oh, go on. What do you have?
No, I just have a way to destroy the altar. It just requires, like, people who can sneak in and do it.
Oh, I'd rather not destroy it.
Yeah, that would be the worst case scenario.
How do we shut it down?
I can shut it down. Like, if you get the governor to approve of it, I can just go in and shut it down with rituals.
Ah, okay.
I have regent blood.
Let's avoid getting anyone in shit if we don't have to.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't mind if the censor got a little bit of what was coming to him.
He's just trying to solve this. I'm not going to hold that against him too much.
Yeah, he talked to me about it. I gave him as much information as I could. He seemed competent.
That's what people have been saying.
So he's on the right track, I think.
He just has his own agenda.
I mean, everyone has their own agenda.
Even you.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I want to leave. I want to go to the Bright Republic. I want to be able to wear pants and talk to women who are allowed to wear pants and own their own business. I want to be a movie star.
Oh, Nicole.
I won't wear pants and talk to women that are allowed to wear pants. Oh my god.
The only person in this city who's even close to as independent as I'd like is Fuhan.
No.
We've got to arrange something.
I'm assuming you've met her husband.
Yeah, but she's a woman who started her own business, who clawed her way through this city to be in charge of, like, the criminal aspect of it. She's the only person in the city who actually tries to live outside her means in a way that's, you know, aggressive.
Yeah, I guess that's admirable in a way.
She doesn't just maintain what's being given to her.
Fair enough.
I don't mean, like, you know, hang out with her, like, you know, in a romantic way. I just mean she's someone you could kind of look up to. Especially because she's a woman who, you know, did the thing.
She sure did the thing.
I have to get permission from the governor to change my dinner menu.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, right. You all have those weird dietary,
What?
no grains.
No, it goes through him.
Huh. That seems really spiteful.
This is my life.
Well,
I wanted to take him with me, and I was going to offer, but then I was like, his brother would probably...
not be pleased.
Yes.
Oh no.
We.
You think his brother would notice?
Oh wait,
That's actually a pretty fair point.
doppelgangers aren't undead.
I mean, does anyone have fertility?
Aye. She got deception.
Oh, deception. You carve up some homeless guy to look like the prince and he lives a life of luxury.
I mean, I could just like take the wall, plop it some automaton out of it.
No, it needs blood.
Put some blood in the fertility.
Fertility, you can actually change his blood.
You put some deception on it, so it looks like a prince.
Deception, fertility, and artifice, you can make a doppel-princer. A Dienelganger.
Like, even though it's not an animate object, you can make it have blood.
Fertility.
You guys have enough
fertility.
words together to make it happen.
You can take a clay person and make them into a human. It's
And it would count as having regent blood for the altar.
Yeah.
You use your mind powers to give it all of his memories.
Yeah.
No, because then it's just another him that's sad about being here.
No, just program it to be happy.
Lobotomize.
You know?
His brother's
Like the uprights.
all like, you really turned yourself around. I'm proud of you.
Good on you.
You have to make sure it can have kids and stuff too then.
Fertility.
I'm just saying, you have to make sure it can do that because he's going to need to get married eventually. Continue the line and stuff. No?
He's like the 17th in line to the
Oh,
front.
fucking never mind then. He's fine.
He's
He can just be a happy little guy.
They're only sent to these places to be so they don't ever gain power or are important.
That's actually fair.
So making a fetch is something on the agenda.
You can make a fetch and replace the prince here.
I think I'm thinking about that in character. I'm going to,
We did it right now. Just a quick miracle.
Meanwhile, Grant is like, death is the only release.
Surrender to the void!
You have the ability to create fake people.
I guess.
You need a soul, though, so you have to grab someone.
We need a soul.
Yeah, to make it as convincing as possible, you probably want to give them a soul.
We probably just want to take a person then.
So a ghost.
A ghost?
That's still a person.
No, if we just take a person and make them look like him and give them his blood, then they can live here and be happy because this is a very lavish life for the people that are dying in the streets.
Can I just take the spirit of a upright and make that into a soul?
Why don't we just take it upright?
Yeah, I'll just tear the soul out of an upright.
But that's a person.
Yeah, sort
What's
of.
the point?
Not really. Look at them.
Well, they are. They're just victims of what happened here.
Yeah, exactly. So
What
it's a
if we
release.
took it upright?
But I'm just saying, why don't you just take a homeless person who's sad about being homeless and give them
Are
this nice
homeless
house?
less of people than upright?
No, but they don't. The upright are happy in the lives they have.
No,
The
see-
homeless man is sad, so you can improve his life by giving him this opportunity.
See, you take it upright, you make them believe they're the prince, and they'll be the best prince around.
Or you could just use your own gifts to transplant all that knowledge into their head.
I also don't want them to. Yes, we would need to change this. They'd be happy being here, though.
Well, let's keep an eye out for an absolutely miserable person and make their life much better.
Yes, I've seen hundreds on the way here.
We have to find the most miserable, though.
I think
Or
I
it
saw.
doesn't count.
I think I did see someone in the streets that had both legs that were crippled.
Yeah, something like that.
How's the prince reacting to this entire conversation?
Oh, he's good.
He's sitting there like, I'm just happy to be here.
This is good.
We're discussing God things.
We're discussing replacing him with a fucking fake
Hobo.
to free him from his misery.
Either way, just in case this messes up, maybe we should continue our investigation first and then sneak him out.
Oh yes, definitely. We might need to speak to him again.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we have a plan so far. Many plans.
I'm gonna take some of these Toblerones.
They're really good.
Yeah, yes they are. I'm gonna take this big one.
Now we're back. So, you guys are going to go to the raid that Tobin asked you to do?
Mm-hmm.
Or Toma? Noya?
Tobis.
No.
Tobin.
It starts with an S and a
Tomor.
Tomor. He's a Tobin person.
Toblerone.
Look, you can't just have T.O. and T.O. match up. Anyway. So, what is the plan for that? Are you going to go talk to Tomor again, and get the deeds from him?
Yep.
Well, yeah, I think he wanted us to go out, beat some monsters up, beat some people up, but not kill them, and see what's going on in the forest or somewhere.
Well, he can give us a refresher when we talk to
Yeah.
him. So.
You meet with Noya and Tomor. And yeah, he'll meet you at that same cottage in his little hangout yurt.
And then we can drink the curdly alcohol.
Yeah, you want some mare's milk?
Sure.
It's awful.
Just like Mother used to make.
Oh god.
Horrible goat person.
See, the worst part was like, I still probably get more drunk on this than on his regular stuff because he's immune to all plant-based poisons, but that's animal-based.
There you
That's
go.
actually a good point. It's the only kind of alcohol you can really get drunk on.
Yeah.
Or blood wine, I guess.
All
That's another
right,
thing.
so I will show you what I need done. He gets out the basic maps. You need to scout here into the borderland, cross the border into the plains and just give us a breakdown of what everything looks like. So, cannot make this clearer. Leave things for us to kill. You know, people, bandits, Raktians. We need stuff to raid and pillage.
Take out the bigger threats.
Yeah, something big and awful, or some sort of Raktian hellbeast. Sure, kill that, but my people would really like to go on in and raid a bunch of Raktian villagers and bandits.
Sure.
Fair.
Okay. And yeah, he will provide you with horses, and it'll take you 3 days to do the whole scouting. You're gonna leave Yizhao.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, the low plains away from Yizhao and the Dolombian area gives way to like rivers and like fjords and like large farmland that's like rice fields and whatnot. It's very muggy and wet and like saturated in plants. Signs of settlements that have been raided on either side, like burnt out little farmsteads and villages, are dot the border. You know, signs of battle, you know, like old dead horse carcasses and like, you know, remains of people have been left around, campfire pits that have burned out from being left unattended.
Any of them recent?
Recent within like the last month.
So I guess you will resurrect then. Something.
The campfires I was talking about.
Oh.
The,
Not the corpses.
You eventually do find evidence of people nearby. Like just the detritus and like the kind of leavings that people leave that signify that they've camped out. And like you can see like smoke in the distance through like a forest on the horizon.
Okay, judging from the prints on the ground, does this seem like, you know, a military encampment or just people?
For about 3 dozen people.
Okay, horses?
Yeah, horses and like some, you know, like sturdy ponies and stuff.
Is this around where we know Runaway Bride City is?
No, that'd be further-ish.
I'd say we should scout this out and take note if it's just a encampment of raiders.
Definitely. Are we wanting to just go in, or shall I scout in a way that they can't see?
Best if you scout. If we run into them, we're probably going to murder them, so...
That wouldn't leave any fun for Toman.
Exactly. Kind of the opposite we're supposed to do.
You just beat them off the blunt end.
That would rile them up. They'd move on.
Not if you break their necks.
That's not going to be sporting for them.
Man, you just can't get this right.
How fast do you gain back effort again?
A day.
Okay, so I'm assuming I'm full then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to turn on Walking Ghost.
Was that allow you to do for reference?
Hmm?
Was it allow you to do for reference?
Lets you, you cannot be detected by lesser foes unless you attack them or otherwise draw blatant attention, even if you are standing right in front of an NPC. Worthy foes do get a chance to notice you with a spirit save if you go into their presence,
Okay.
or if they're actively already looking for hidden foes. Attacks and loud actions, of course, always draw attention. So yeah.
All right. You're just gonna walk on in?
Yep.
It's a bandit camp. It's like a salvaged Dolombian and Raktian kind of mixed camp of raiders. They all have like ragged armor and gear they've stolen from dead people. They've like set up like tents and cottages, like tents and like little like lean-tos and shit to like sleep out in. They're tending to the animals. They're going through like dead people's like possessions and stuff and sorting it out as shares. Yeah, they're raiders. It looks like a few of them are planning out a raid on a nearby village in the next like, you know, couple of days.
Do we know what? Can I see what village that is?
A village.
Okay.
Mark it on the map.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Alright.
Any monsters around?
Nothing of
In
interest.
this village where they're all calmly hanging out? No, Peter. No monsters in the village that they're calmly hanging around in. They're calmly hanging out and not being assaulted by monsters in the middle of a pitched battle with screaming and bloodshed.
I mean, there will be pet monsters.
That's exactly what they have. They have fucking Umber Hulks. There's a mind flare over there with a bunch of Illithid mind slaves hanging out.
They don't
Perfect.
Orcus sits on his throne nearby with his fucking ruby rod.
It's not a character from...
Okay, Orcus is a character from D&D, and Ruby Rod is indeed the character from the Fifth Element. So yes, he's holding Chris Tucker. You fucking cracked the code, Peter. I was trying to trick Nicole by not telling her about the obvious monsters, but you did it.
I was wondering what that screeching sound was.
So, are there any prisoners, or is it just the raiders?
Oh yeah, there's people they're keeping prisoner for raider reasons. Mad Max Fallout style.
Okay. How many prisoners?
8.
Are they in, like, a pen?
Yeah,
Like a cage, or like a pen?
like a pen for people, and they have like chains on them and stuff. Hilarious enough, a lot of these raider guys have like tattoos and scarification and like paintings on their armor that shows like chains with shackles on them that have all been like shattered open.
Break
To me,
these
that means
chains of
they're
love.
freed slaves. Or runaway slaves is what that sounds like, but then they're having us slaves.
Yeah, they're brigands.
Okay.
It's like that fucking Nickelodeon show that about kid pirates, and like one of the lessons is a pirate never takes what doesn't belong to him.
What?
I know, right?
Okay. I'm assuming they're being watched.
Yeah.
Alright. I want to rescue them, though.
What, you don't think the horse lords who come through will gently rescue them in their attempts to burn down the camp?
I'm gonna rescue them.
Whisk them away.
What can I do?
What do you have?
I have a lot of things. That's
Deception, music, and...
I have knowledge, deception, music. I also have the Academy of Thought, and I also have a instrument that has Shout Down the Sky, which is a smite. That only destroys.
So they play a mad riff, bro, and kill them all.
All stone, glass, wooden, or metal constructions larger than a suit of armor are blown apart, so I guess their camp would fall down. Enemies within the zone
Cage.
suffer 1 point of damage per character level, or 1d6 plus 2 straight for mobs. I don't necessarily want to kill them all, though, because that was Tobin wanted to do.
Oh, you'll really get them mad. You'll fail the quest.
Yeah. But I do want to rescue these people.
You sure the horse guys won't just rescue them?
They probably won't rescue them, no! I saw what happened, Devin. That's what got the fucking, that's what fucking gotten the stallion that was going to mount the world fucking killed.
What?
Game of Thrones, dog.
Ah.
Can we pause for a sec? I just need to look through all my shit.
Yeah, I can do that. And we're back. So, what gift were you activating?
I'm going to activate my music gift, Passionate Crescendo, which is going to infuse the bandits with kind of cowed fear as I walk into camp playing my musical instrument.
Okay, everyone cows in fear of you as you're playing a spooky dirge.
As I'm like walking past them, I'm just going to look. Does anyone look like they're like in charge-ish?
Yeah, one guy looks like he's a bandit king.
I'm taking your prisoners.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up and do it.
Chained Lord, save us.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
Breaker of chains, they say.
Okay.
I got it wrong.
Breaker of chains.
It's funny because it's actually one of Daenerys' titles.
Ugh. Kevin Crawford, why?
So yeah, I'm going to walk up to the pen that the prisoners are in. I'm going to open it.
They're all afraid.
Come with me.
They come with you.
So I'm going to come back with like a trail of 8 people.
Oh, where are we at? Huh.
They had prisoners.
I see.
I didn't kill them.
Now you have prisoners.
So are they gonna come after us?
No. I'm assuming not.
Okay. I guess they can come with us.
How close are we to Yizhao?
Pretty fucking far. Like a day and a half on good horses.
Like a day and a half. Alright.
Yeah, we don't have any horses with us for them to ride
Yeah,
on.
it is considerably longer for these people.
Yeah.
I didn't really think it through, but I wasn't gonna leave them there to be like, you know.
You could have picked them up on the way back.
But no, then I would have had to leave them there for longer.
Oh no.
That's horrible.
Oh no.
They'd be safe and have something to eat.
One of the spirits in the book.
Safe.
They'd be safe and have something to eat. Yes, more rape. Very good, Peter.
One of the things in the book, or the links I sent you, was a guardian ghost, actually, that protects people.
I mean, yeah, you can just summon up a monster to protect them.
Yeah, yeah. So,
They're a god. You can just be like, monster.
yeah, he just points at a nearby corpse and is like, up. And? Yeah, that's right. Guide these people back to Yizhao.
Is this like an intelligent undead?
Yeah.
What is it? Is it a specter or like is it a corporeal undead?
It's a corporeal, just like a person. It's like a wraith.
Alright, let me pause.
So I'm gonna have to.
Person wraith.
Alright, so mummy, right?
Yeah.
Desiccated corpse priest man rises up.
Guide these people back to Yizhao.
Yes, half man.
Protect them with your life, your unlife.
I will butcher the world in service of you.
So yeah, I'll
It fiddles through some of the bodies it's been around and yanks out some jewelry that you didn't see that was hidden on them and puts it on itself. And it all has your iconography on it and starts guiding the people to the promised land, a land rife with milk and honey.
Alright, well.
I guess I'm going to miracle up some fruit for them to eat or whatever. Like, here, have some food.
He was already doing a sermon in the name of the half-man god to create a priest feast.
Okay.
Like you could add too if you want to step on his toes. It's all good. See within your right.
I don't know where that half-man iconography came from, but it's just in every single thing. Every single thing.
You're a half-man. You're half-man, half-god.
Fair?
You're like the Necromonger King from Chronicles of Riddick. You went to the underworld, to the Under Kingdom, and came back half man, half something else.
We need to give you
Underverse.
a large trench coat and some extensions.
What?
But give him a large trench coat and extensions, so he'll be a full man.
No, they don't mean that he's a dwarf. They mean he's like a half man.
I mean, some people do mean that he's a half.
Yeah, if they're assholes who die.
Not a lot of the people who. It's most of the people who know he's a god.
Hmm.
That's where the monikers come from. This isn't a Game of Thrones thing where they're talking about Tyrion.
But yeah.
Okay, yeah, he'll lead those people to a safe place.
Perfect.
He has priest spells like an AD&D character. Continual light. Also, mummy rot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll fuck up anyone who He's probably well within his rights to just convert other people into mummies to protect these people.
I'm within my rights. Lemon grab style.
Hey, Telmor, sorry, the bandits aren't there anymore, but you have an army of mummies.
I can't fight these.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna care if we kill patrols that we come across. It's like self-defense. What are you gonna do?
He will care. He'll be super pissed about it. Alright, so you guys continue on past the Bandit Camp. Cool. Alright. Yeah, going through the forest, because it's like forested and like deciduous, coniferous, piney area. You, Alright. You guys are going through the forest, and you start hearing whispering all around you. Like voices chanting, being all like, the half-man, come to the forest, half-man. Your family's here.
I can sense undead. Are there spirits trying to fuck with me?
No.
I will fuck with them.
You're like clicking, like bones rattling together, though.
Grant just wordlessly ducks off.
You all hear it. You all can hear this.
Oh,
It's coming from the entire forest.
Yeah, he takes the bait.
you should not be going into there alone.
Yeah, well, whoever's doing this, they're gonna regret it.
So maybe targeting you because they think you're an easier target.
Oh, well, that's their mistake.
Exactly.
You keep running. You keep hearing the whispers getting louder and louder, and that clicking, that clattering.
Clickety-clackety.
Get in the sack. And then on a hill, like on a small hill mound, there it is. Pale white, an albino moose. It has large palmate horns that are in the breeze, clicking together the way antlers click together, like when two bulls fight. And it's like you hear whispering coming from its body, and it's looking at you with milky white eyes.
Huh. I'll wait for these two to catch up since one of them has knowledge.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like,
Oh, you get a look at this?
yeah.
It's a ractine mutant. It's luring you in with its pleasant sound so it can murder you.
It's doing a good job.
It's attacking.
Good on
Its
it.
antlers explode into finger-like spikes and throw themselves at you, like growing like vines from its head, like knife fingers 30 feet away from it.
Haha.
It's coming in for the kill. You're fighting a whispering moose, eh?
No way.
So it's probably not surprising you, seeing as you were there talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys get to probably go first.
Okay. What's its AC?
The Whispering Moose, which is blood mad and cannot be reasoned with, has an AC of 7.
I have a question.
What? Is it how the entire system works?
Does it have a mind?
Nope, it's insane.
As is the way of things.
It's insane, but can my psychic powers work on it?
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause
Totally.
that's really what I was asking.
That you should have just asked that. Then.
Okay.
I want to hurt it with my psychic powers. Does it apply? Yes.
Because I can do 2d6 damage with that, and which is the most damage I have.
Is it 3d8?
Someone go and do stuff.
Okay. I'm committing effort to the inexorable shaft and fear no steel, so I take 1 less damage from all harm, and I hit for max damage whenever I hit.
Cool.
AC 7.
Hits for 4 damage. Is this a worthy foe?
Yes. Super worthy.
Okay, so I just shoot it with my crossbow.
All right. Bing. 4 damage.
Yep.
That's a lot of damage.
Max damage.
All right, you pepper its fucking hide with shafts.
Yeah. There's a slingshot on it.
A slingshot?
Use your wrist rocket?
No, I think he has a sling, David and Goliath style.
Yeah. Because they have hammer hands, so whatever I use those 1d10. That's 9
a 9.
shots. That's 2, is it?
I don't know, is it? And do you
Is
add
it?
your dex?
God damn, I forgot about
plus
the
dex.
chart.
Ah, so that's 4 damage.
Holy fucking Christ. Alright, and Nicole.
I'm going to use my Archmage level of Academy of Thought to do 2d6 damage if I hit.
Roll.
No.
You got 10. What do you get with your base attack bonus?
3.
What do you mean I got 10?
3 plus 7 is 10.
For its armor class.
Of 7.
Basic
Wait.
attack bonus like 3.
Okay, my attack is plus 5.
So 15, so you miss.
Yeah.
Whispering Moose's turn.
Yes.
It has... Oh my god, 4 attacks. Okay, it's going for the half man. Oh, right. Oh, it does straight damage. It's... Oh man, fuck. You're so fucked.
Huh.
You should have dropped it in one turn. You almost did.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, what?
It says lesser foes get no saving throw against their spells, but worthy
Not a lesser
foes worthy enemies can make a spirit save to resist them. So I don't think I was supposed to roll. I think it was supposed to roll to resist.
That makes a lot of sense. That's probably what should have happened.
Yeah, just for future reference.
Okay, so it saves on an 8+. 8+!
Fuck, it rolled a 20.
On your die.
Traitor.
What's your AC? Holy shit, it rolled a 20. It hit you.
My AC's 1, so.
So it got a 31 and a 23.
Damage?
No, to hit.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so it hit both times.
Yes. Jesus.
I was like, how?
Fucking Lord.
Or
You're
the
dead,
mist.
Grant! We shouldn't have come here!
Okay, so 0 damage because of your AC reducer,
Mm-hmm.
and then 5.
Okay.
That was its first action. Second action, it's going after Goatman McGrath. No. What's your AC?
1.
Okay, 21. And roll again. And 22.
Aim.
Alright, do you have any damage reducers?
No.
Oh, good. Get fucked. 6 damage from its 2d6 straight.
Okay.
That's its turn. It just screams and throws its tendril antlers at you, stabbing.
I shoot it in the face with the crossbow,
Good.
and I hit for 4 damage.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, it's down to 3 hit points.
Do you want something called? Do you want to smite it?
I think I'm gonna let you do it.
See, for me, just... Okay.
Come on,
Yeah,
Goliath.
4,
David?
no.
No, Goliath. This thing's far weaker than you.
Miss.
Miss. Oh my god, remember misses?
Yeah.
Alright, Nicole, it's all you. Do you want to use magic again?
I don't have anything else to do, so I guess.
Alright.
You can smile.
8+. Another 20. What? What?
Alright.
Guess that's its turn now.
Guess it's its turn.
Welcome to the jungle.
Moo sounds. Okay, it's going after the half man again.
At least my Academy of Thought stuff is subtle, so it doesn't even know I haven't done anything to it.
It doesn't even recognize that you're there. 20 and 22.
Yep.
Okay. 1d6. 3 damage.
Okay.
5 damage.
Okay.
What's your HP?
7 now.
It's not awesome.
Nope.
Well,
And 2 more for the goat.
No.
Oh, holy shit, it rolled really low. It rolled a 3, so it got 13. What's your AC?
1.
14 misses.
Yep.
And there we go. 28. Okay, damage time. 6.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm at 8. I guess I'll use second spring.
It has 3 hit points left.
Kill it, Grant.
Do it, Grant.
Yeah, Grant puts his crossbow on his back, holds out his claw, and just a stream of pure mist energy, spectral energy, pours forth. 7. Hit!
4 damage?
Yep. 4
Dead!
damage.
You atriced it! In that, all you have to do is get a hit, and automatically you win. Alright, spectral energy goes into its face skull, and it ceases to be alive in the lithosphere. And then it kind of just starts sliding down the mound, tumbling over itself, and it's clattering antlers.
Well,
Well.
Second spring. 6 to 9 damage healed for both of us.
Oh, nice. Thanks. Appreciate it. Grant slides down the hill, takes hold of both his antlers, puts his foot on the thing's face or head, and just tears those off.
Clickety clack! You can make an awesome snowman with them.
These are mine.
pelt would be a very
It's
Make it
albino white.
would make a very beautiful coat.
Oh, that is true. Well,
As it goes, flips it off and skins it with a quick flick of the wrist.
Do you grab it, like, did you grab it, like, by a leg and, like, flip it like a towel and now it's been skinned?
Oh, the
Sure.
gore just splatters across.
And pelted.
Well,
All the
we go.
damage fixed. Crap.
It was terribly full of holes.
That really fucked up his men.
Yeah.
Probably for the best we took care of that.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, he would have been. He was super thankful that you did that. When you tell him about it, he'd be like,
He
Look at
better
these
be.
antlers on this coat. That's gonna that's a big coat. Like, that's too big for you.
Ooh.
That's a giant coat.
"You'll never finish it."
Take some legs, make stilts out of it, and then you can wear it with the antlers on and come to the city.
I'm gonna make one of those Wengo things where they have like the horse face and just mount that over top.
Alternatively, turn the antlers into a crown.
It's really big.
Like, well, yeah, but you turn the antlers into a crown, like the antler tips on them, and you can make multiple ones for all of your different, like, chosen servants.
With the weird fingers. Yeah.
If you don't have enough antler from abominations from the Ragtag Confederacy, store-bought will do just fine.
Don't worry, we've got fertility. We can make more.
So now it is significantly lighter. It can just be laid over the back of the horse.
There you go. Perfect. So you continue onto your third day of scouting. It's more flatlandy here, more rolling hills in the distance, and on a hill nearby. Do you guys rest for the day?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
God, yes.
Good Christ Almighty.
I mean, I actually didn't spend
mean,
anything or receive
I
any
spent an
damage,
effort.
Well, it's gonna take 3 days, so obviously we're taking
Yeah.
breaks anyway.
yeah.
So there's a lonely hill out in the middle of the plains land with a crucifix nailed into it, and there's a dude on the crucifix.
Can we see if he's alive?
No, he's super dead.
Okay.
Aw.
Cross from what? Cross from what?
I mean, Grant can probably talk with it.
Yeah, sure. I'll
Even
talk.
gives you things if you try to talk with it.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
dead.
I have death, so I will definitely talk to it.
All right, it is a dude, and he is on a crucifix, and he's been nailed to it, and there's a little platform for his feet, so it's probably just going to slide off fast. On birch bark, someone's painted in blood the word "whore of the nobles" and nailed it to his dick.
How nice of
What
them.
the shit?
Oh yeah, it's awful.
What? This poor man. What happened even?
You gonna talk to him?
Yeah.
Tell us your sob story.
Shut up, goat.
Half man.
Yeah, that's me. You're explain.
The breaker of chains ordered me to be murdered.
Breaker of change,
He was my god.
and he ordered this for you.
Yep.
Why?
For sympathizing with the Raktians.
How so?
We're gonna go and kill them all, and I said they should have gotten unitary church burial so they won't go to hell.
It's fair. Can you lead us to this breaker of chains?
He points like a mile that way.
Do you wish to return to life?
Yes.
Pledge your soul to me, and I will make it so.
I pledge my soul to the half man.
Grant takes his claw, shoves it into this man's chest as mist starts to form, and he just pulls out another version of this guy from the mists.
Oh.
The body turns to black sooty ash, like the type you see in Necropolis in Darkon, and it just falls apart on the crucifix.
Yep.
I love how he's like, is this a trick question? I mean, yeah?
Woo! What do we do now, half man?
Follow me. We'll protect you.
All right.
So tell us of this breaker of chains.
He's my god.
Was.
Yeah.
Go on.
He frees people from being servants and believes in freedom for all and to overthrow the bourgeoisie and the ruling castes.
Oh.
It's quite the word. And he punishes those who disagree, like this.
Well, I was being traitorous, so I had to go.
Huh. I'm gonna guess he has a very broad definition of traitorism.
Whatever
Maybe.
fits narrative.
Maybe. I'll say, if he's a god, what? You say he's a god. How so? Does he display power?
He's a servant of Saint Marta, and like we were worshiping him and Saint Marta because he was like freeing us of our like ensorcelments and our bindings.
Does this guy look Rakteen, or is he Dolan by?
No, he's still on being.
Alright.
But it went from, saint worship to deity worship rather quickly.
Of course.
It's in Vulcany. It's like a village just over there.
Alright. I'd say we head there. If this is some kind of cult, well, best flush him out.
It's the village that guy pointed you towards.
Interesting. Makes sense. Breaker of chains. Freeing women from their unhappy marriages or whatever they're running away from.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Do you know anything about their runaway women?
A lot of them are away from Columbia and the unhappy life that they lead there.
Any common thread other than it sucks to be a woman?
About sums it up.
I mean, fair. Just so many at once.
All right, and you will make your way to Vulcany with this man,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we'll wrap this session there.
Okay.
So, I was Devin the GM,
Nicole?
Kevin?
And Peter.
and this is Sponsored by Nobody, signing off.